Consumers in the younger generation expect brands to get in and have a stay and have a point of view.
9 out of 10 people actually say that they feel better about a brand when it takes a social or environmental stance. More than half of people are making choices on brands based on shared values, and more than half of people from Gen Z all the way to boomers really expect brands to take a stand on societal issues.
Why can't run like a girl also mean win the race?
The brands that I personally admire the most are brands that have a point of view on like what's happening out there, especially if you can link that point of view to the positioning of the brand.
I think they've got to do it in a way that is authentic to who they are and where they want to be, not something that's just topical and they feel like is just going to tick some boxes for now.
Why try to blend in when you can choose how to stand out?
Sometimes brands can make the mistake of trying to take a stance on a bunch of different things that, at some point you're like, well, do I really care what a toilet paper brand thinks about, this specific issue? But I think there are certain things that brands have to fundamentally believe in, and they have to take a stand on if it's important for them.
There are so many problems in the world that governments are not going to be able to solve by themselves. So I think brands and companies, they have a role to play. But I think the most important thing is that the core business of whatever industry you are in or whatever company you're in is actually positive for people and for society as a whole. So your business need to have meaning and need to impact people in a positive way. Because at the end, you spend, if you have like social causes and you have activism, whatever, this is like 5%, 10% of what the brand does. But I think consumers are really asking the question, what is the other 90%? Your core business where you really spend the money and you spend the time, is that good or bad for society?
Millennials and Gen Z, they care a lot about what companies and what the people who work for those companies care about, right? That's important to them, and authenticity is important to them. And I feel like, companies today, and particularly the NFL, we have such a big part in people's lives, and we do have such scale that I feel like it's not only an opportunity, but it's really a responsibility to do things good in the world.
No time to waste. Let's work.
Inside these lines, we may have our differences, but recognize there's more that unites us inside these lines.
Business has become, again, in a connected world, incredibly powerful. Some of these large companies they're like mini nation states unto themselves. And they can influence more and drive more behavior.
It is more about how do brands really innovate around the change that people want to see. I don't think it's really about picking a side if it's political, but it's more removing that from the equation and truly understanding the issue. Because chances are the issues are aligned around changes in the environment, things we need to do differently to better shape our economies, or to bring real societal change around the world in which we can all thrive.
Because solving big problems is what business does best. And doing good is just good business. Sorry.
Everyone wants to save the world, and I get it, and sometimes it works really well. I think that Kaepernick is amazing because it was like a perfect storm of an athlete who had a point of view, took a knee for the country, president didn't like it, Nike athletes, perfect. But not very many people get a chance at that kind of perfect storm. But for us, we believe brands should have a sense of humor. They should have a conscience, yes, but also a humor allows people in.
Is there a way to use humor as a part of social and political conversations, or is that way too scary because it could go so wrong?
Oh, it's used all the time as part of social and political conversations. People get their news not from straight news people anymore, but from people that make fun of the news.
So if you do it right, if you are adding value to the conversation, if you're like putting yourself on the right side of history, if you can tie it back to the positioning of the brand, I think chances are that you are going to increase brand love, and over time that will probably translate into a better business for your brand.